Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. We just played a game of Twilight Imperium. This is a long game. What did we play for 5 hours?
About 5 hours.
About 5 hours. We're playing with 5 people. We got
What's up?
Ben, Roy, Scott, Jen,
Hello.
and myself. And Jen and I came in last place. This is us over here. This is Scott over here. That's Roy, and that's Ben. This is every space game you can think of. There's Star Trek, Star Wars, Dune, everything all piled into one. This is like the capital of the Empire. You're all battling for this. And everybody takes one little tiny action and moves around. So it's a big, long game, but short little actions in space battles. Does anybody have anything they want to say?
An incredibly complex game.
Yes. The first round was an hour to play the first round, and I messed up some of the rules. So the tensions were getting a little high. I'm sorry about that. I get embarrassed when I do that. Roy, anything you want to say?
I guess, tactically I was playing the Emirates of Hakan, and I tried to have my forces pull into the main world early so I could unlock the political voting system.
So you were blue. Your pieces were blue?
Yep, I wanted to unlock the political voting system and try to take control that way and really control the center of the board. I don't think I had enough of the victory cards. I was just a little bit short, and I was not able to stop the Mentok coalition over here from gaining victory points by having adjacent ships. Even though I had a giant space cannon, I wasn't able to take out that one cruiser.
And Scott, you were the Mentak?
Yeah, I was Mentak, which is essentially Space Australia. It's all the formerly criminals, exiles, and ne'er-do-wells became mercenaries. And
you did have shady tactics.
I didn't have any shady tactics.
Well, I guess to a Mentak, those are normal tactics.
I just spread out.
He was orange, for those of you.
I play every game by the objectives. I don't
Yes,
worry about
Scott
looks
is very
or-
good at games. If you want to learn how to play a game, play against Scott. Jen, what were you?
I was the Winu, and my little pink empire didn't grow quite as big as I was trying to get.
Well, you
it.
also trapped it by a supernova over here.
Yes.
At the beginning of the game, we draw tiles, and we put the bad tiles against our enemies, the good tiles next to us, and we all take turns. I was the humans. I play red, and you can see this is kind of my empire over here, and I started to do good, but I ended up not doing good. And you were the
Necrovirus. As you can see, I had more than enough ships.
Yeah, he was the black.
Just not nearly enough meaningful ships.
And I might as well show this. This is our command boards. This is like how I control everything. These are our ships, the rules on the ships. These are like our notable politicians and whatever. And this is our tactics over here. So this is how many orders we could take. This is the size of our fleets. This is our strategy tokens. And this is like money. So there's a lot to keep track of. This is how many planets I control. This is how many technologies I control. I would say at the beginning, my biggest mistake was my empire was supposed to be ground troops, and I just didn't generate enough ground troops. I think I didn't play to the strengths. What do you think?
I didn't play to the strengths of my faction. I get technologies for attacking other people.
He's like the Borg.
And throughout this entire game, I think I attacked 3 people.
You probably should have been sending one useless ship just to try.
Yeah.
And the trade, your faction was in charge of trade.
Yeah, I feel like...
most people underutilize that.
I feel like I did a pretty good job with the trade, trying to build up resources. But like Scott said, I really feel like you have to play towards the resources and play towards the victory points. Every round you should be looking at victory points. What do I need to do in order to advance my objectives to gain victory points? And sometimes when you're playing games like this, you're afraid to attack other people.
Yes, I didn't want to attack.
It's a war game. Don't feel bad about attacking. Don't feel bad about politicking. It's all in good fun.
Look at this. I had all this built up over here, and I didn't attack. Speaking of what Roy said, these are how you score points. It's random. So this gives you an objective. It's like over here. For 1 point, control more planets than each of your 2 neighbors. So you just want to conquer planets. This is have 4 more structures. So you want to build. And look, there's stacks and stacks of these. So every time you play, it's going to be a different combination. I think it's...
And also the map will be different every time, too,
Correct.
which is kind of cool.
And each faction has vastly different powers. We spent an hour sorting out the cards because I think the last time I played this, I didn't put it away properly. What do you think? Complicated, right?
Complicated, but if you're a
a
board gamer,
it's worth it.
if you're a board
Yeah.
gamer,
I'll get
you'll
both of
love
you.
it.
If you're
So-
a board gamer, it's worth it.
Roy and Scott, this was the first time you played, right?
Yes.
In a long, long time.
Oh, you did play before,
Like I said,
Scott.
second edition, I think.
Oh, second edition.
I
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
played.
20 years ago.
I was gonna say that's about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So, it seemed like the first round we got off to a real rocky start.
Well, just we didn't know how certain things work. Like we didn't know how to build and when we would build.
Yeah.
So that like, and we only figured it out at the end of the round, so it was a
But
little bit of a bump.
out of the first round, but by the second round, it seemed like we were going like.
Yeah,
what-
rounds went fast after we figured everything
Yeah.
out.
How did you feel? You were a complete newbie to this, right?
Yes, definitely first time playing, very complex. I think I focused too much on ground troops and structure and not enough on spacefaring ships, which is why I ended up losing all my battles.
Is it safe to say that we all kind of turtled a little too much?
I
I know I did.
I'm never fond of playing the objective in these games. I much more prefer going large ships, go.
Large
You
ships.
know, big fleet, go.
Yeah.
And then just throwing dice at them.
And you notice here we have like these exploration tokens. We didn't even deal with that. We played, for those of you who keep track, we played with the Prophecy of Kings expansion. I think there's a third expansion or second, I forget the number, but I think there's a brand new expansion. I got my flagship out here. It sustained a lot of damage, but it was a pretty good fight. Any last comments? Anything anybody want to say? Close it off. Ben, anything you want to say?
Nothing particularly comes to mind.
I think if you're a board gamer and you collect board games, this is one that should be in your collection. If you're not a board gamer, then
Don't try it.
Don't try it because you need 6 hours. We took 5-6 hours to play.
Yeah. What would you, on a complexity rating of say like 1 to 5, 5 being the most complex, what would you call this? Roy is my game group. We play a lot of games, so.
I mean, I put it at like a 4.5. I
Okay,
don't think
I'll
there's
agree
really
with that.
anything more complex.
Scott, what do you think?
No, it's definitely up into 4.5. There's not a lot of games that are as complex as this,
But it's intuitive, right?
but once you get the flow, it's pretty quick and easy.
Yeah. Anything you want to add, Jen?
I definitely over 4. It's one of the most complex, probably not the most, but definitely.
Would you play again?
Definitely.
Okay.
You just need a good block of time, though.
Ben, would you play again?
Absolutely.
Would you play again?
Of course.
Oh, I'd love to play. This is a game I only get to play like once a year. I would play this again tomorrow.
Let's play it again tonight, right now.
You want to play again? All
6 hours.
right, we're setting up. Guys, I got to go. I got to reset up the board. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.